We are constantly told that building massive wealth requires inventing the future. The expectation is that you must build a visionary startup, disrupt a massive industry, and create brand new consumer demand out of thin air. But chasing unproven demand is exhausting. When a business has to convince people they need a product they've never heard of, it burns through capital quickly, and most of these ideas fail to reach profitability. In contrast, mundane local businesses operate on a different logic. A standard tax accountant or a neighborhood bookkeeping firm often picks up a new client every single week without ever making a formal pitch. The most reliable path to generating wealth is found in boring, established industries where the demand is already proven. Experienced wealth builders like Fernando de Leon focus on buying existing demand. They don't wait for a market to emerge. They acquire the one that is already there. This strategy focuses on acquiring unglamorous, everyday cash flow businesses, such as real estate holding companies, like veterinary clinics or dental offices. To understand how this works, we have to look at the exact mechanical process for taking an everyday industry and turning it into a reliable wealth-generating machine. This chart comparing a typical startup to a traditional service business shows why recurring revenue is the target. While a startup's revenue is jagged and volatile, the traditional business operates on a cyclical system where customer retention converts into predictable monthly cash flow. Investors prioritize acquiring established human relationships over a flashy brand or new product. This predictability provides a baseline of stability. It allows an owner to bypass the high-risk, zero-revenue phase typical of new startups, where survival is never certain. Acquiring an existing company means stepping into a pre-built revenue engine that is already generating results. These acquisitions are often funded through leverage, specifically government-backed programs like Small Business Administration loans. Borrowing against a theoretical future product carries significant danger. However, safe debt is supported by a solid foundation of recurring invoices. Because the business has proven demand, existing cash flow provides the capital necessary to pay off the loan over time. Buyers further protect their capital by structuring the purchase with a retention-based payout. In this arrangement, the buyer only pays the seller for the revenue generated by clients who stay with the business after the ownership transition. This contract structure shifts the weight of the financial risk away from the buyer's capital and onto the historical performance of the asset itself. Large-scale market crashes act as accelerants for this model by exposing and flushing out bad incentives across the economy. The 2008 financial crisis is a prime example, occurring when a system burdened by speculative debt and poor lending practices finally broke down. Major financial institutions collapsed in a rapid domino effect, leaving behind a massive volume of distressed assets. While the broader market panicked, patient investors with available capital bought distressed commercial loans and physical properties for a fraction of their original value. Post-acquisition, the focus shifts to optimization. Owners look for little lies or accepted inefficiencies within older, complacent industries. For example, a real estate firm might build its own in-house insurance brokerage. By brokering their own policies, they stop paying premiums to third parties and immediately increase their profit margins. Wealth in this model scales through the systematic refinement of operational inefficiencies within an existing, stable business structure. Ultimately, the most significant long-term yield of the boring business model is simply this: time and flexibility. Because a baseline of survival is supported by predictable cash flow, the owner is freed from the daily anxiety of a startup's survival. This breathing room provides the margin to make mistakes, learn the industry, and optimize systems deliberately. Financial freedom is built by meeting practical needs consistently over time, avoiding the volatility of venture-backed product launches. True wealth compounds quietly by serving everyday's human needs reliably over decades. Stop searching for massive disruption and look at the mundane, overlooked industries in your own community. That is where the most reliable opportunity is hiding.